Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about Saturn transiting the ninth house in a natal chart. Now, on average, Saturn will traverse a house for approximately 2.5 years. However, if your house size is a little bit larger than average, then Saturn will be in there for a little bit of a longer duration. If your house size is a little bit smaller than average, then Saturn will be in there for a little bit of a shorter period. Well, anyway, people, the first thing I'll look at when Saturn transits your natal ninth house, this could be a time for strong restructuring of your philosophies. You might say, well, are my beliefs are my philosophies or any one of them preposterous? This could be a time where you might take a more of a traditional type of outlook, a more conservative one perhaps. Saturn is to be careful in this transit because Saturn can be about limitation and restriction, and this could also apply to your philosophies and beliefs. Now, also, we'll look at this, and the ninth house is about higher education. Now, this could be a time where you might experience some kind of limitation or delays or restrictions connected with this. It could be a situation where maybe you're waiting a little bit longer on getting approved to go into a university, for example, or it could be maybe you don't have the funds to go to the one that you want to go to. If you are somebody that's a student and you're trying to go into a college, or you're about to become a student, perhaps is what I should say. Now, this could also be Saturn. Look at Saturn transiting the ninth house. It could be also a period where maybe in some isolated cases you might have maybe older people trying to, we look at it as far as indoctrination, such as they might be trying to indoctrinate you. This might be a period of perhaps of religious indoctrination as far from others, and it's just some things to look at as far as this transit goes. And also, really, your belief system could be more grounded and restructured during this period in your philosophical outlook. This could be a time also when maybe you look at the ninth house as about in-laws and grandchildren. And this could be a period where you might find some kind of delays or restrictions connected with them. This could be perhaps a time where you look at this ninth house. It's about long distance traveling. Ninth house, or at least I should say that's one of the. Is what I mean is it's one of the things connected with the ninth house. And long distance traveling, you could have a lot more seriousness connected with this. You might feel more responsibility to this. There might be more responsibilities connected with your religious congregation. If you belong to a church or something, maybe you have to do, or you feel a need to do more work with them in the congregation, in the building, for example. This could be a time where older people might impact your philosophical outlook. The Saturn can be the father, and it could be a time where maybe the father, if your father is alive, maybe he instills you with some beliefs at this point in time and with some strong philosophies, and he might impact that. And this could also be a period where you look at Saturn it being transiting the ninth house. The ninth house corresponds with the zodiac sign Sagittarius, as many of you may know. And this could put, I'm feeling it with this transit, you might be a little bit more despondent or melancholy than usual, because it really, what it can do is it can restrict that Sagittarian like energy. And you might come across, you might be a little bit more, seem a little more pessimistic than usual. But this really could be a time where, Saturn on average being and transiting a house for approximately 2.5 years on average, this could be a strong time for the restructuring of your beliefs, of your philosophies. The ninth house also is associated with publishing. So this could be a time where maybe you may start to write a book that would eventually be published. It might be very methodical and painstaking, a little bit time consuming. It may start perhaps near the beginning of the time of the transit in the ninth house and culminate perhaps when it gets right about the end of the transit. So those are some things to look at as far as this transit goes. And really, when you look at this too, and the fact that this is about if you have in-laws and or grandchildren, keep in mind that Saturn can be the sad planet, and this could be a time where maybe there's some situations with one or more of these people that might make you feel a little bit more disconsolate or more despondent than usual, and maybe one or more of them, maybe you might see them as a little bit more dejected or sad or more in a sad mode than usual. So anyway, people, it's also important to look at the aspects, if any, that are made to your natal planets and points from this transit, as this could impact the transit. Now, let's say, for example, that transiting Saturn in your ninth house is making a square in conjunct or opposition to your natal sun. Well, this could indicate that there may be some responsibilities that might be conflicting with some things that you want to do. And being the fact that Saturn, we're talking about Saturn in the ninth house, this could be some responsibilities perhaps connected with in-laws, with grandchildren, and maybe things of a religious matter in some cases. So anyway, I'll give you another example. Let's say that transiting Saturn is making a conjunction to your natal moon. Transiting Saturn in the ninth house, I should say. Well, this could be, you might feel some restriction in as far as expressing your emotions at this time and your feelings. And being in the ninth, this could be connected with matters pertaining to in-laws, to grandchildren, to really matters connect maybe members of a religious congregation as another example, and really maybe expressing your own philosophies and beliefs with a lot of it, with any emotional energy. And this could be something that could happen during this transit. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Saturn transiting the ninth house in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about Saturn transiting the 10th house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.